Hi everyone, in this lesson we're going to look at calculating original values using a calculator. This is sometimes referred to as reverse percentage change. The value of a house increased by 4.2% to £677,300. What was the original value of the house? Well, we always consider the original value of the house to be 100%. And if we've gained 4.2%, that means the new value of the house is equivalent to 104.2%. So what I can say is that the 104.2% is equal to the new value of the house, which is this. And I want to find the original value. In other words, I want to find what 100% was. And what I can do is I can divide this number to get to 1%. And remember that any number divided by itself gives us 1. So I'm actually going to divide by 104.2. That would give me to 1%. I need to divide this side by 104.2 as well. And then I'll use my calculator to do that. So we've got our 677,300 divided by our 104.2. Hit the execute button and that tells me my answer is £6,500. Or 1% is £6,500. Now we said that 100% was my original value, so I want to go from 1% to 100%, and that's by multiplying by 100. So I'll multiply this by 100, and you can use your calculator to do that, or if you're happy to do it without your calculator, then that's okay, but it gives me an answer of £650,000. It's always good to do a quick sense check to make sure your answer is reasonable. The value of a house increased by 4.2%, so not by a whole lot, but it took me to 677,300. What was the original value of the house? Well, I've said the original value was this, and that seems very reasonable to me. Pause the video and give this question a go. A car depreciates in value by 17.5% in its first year. If its value after 1 year is £19,800, what was the price of the car when it was new? So we'll let the original cost of the car be equal to 100%. And the car's depreciated. That means it's decreased in value by 17.5%. So I've lost this percentage from the original. And I'll use my calculator to work out what that is. So 100 subtract my 17.5. And that's going to give me 82.5% remaining after it's lost its value. And it lost this in its first year. If its value after 1 year is the 19,800, what was the price of the car when it was new? So the new cost is 100%. That's what we want to work out. They've told us that 82.5% is equal to £19,800. So let's write that in. 82.5% is equal to £19,800. Go down to 1%, and to do that we divide by 82.5. I'll divide this by 82.5. I'll type in my 19,800 divided by 82.5. 82.5 to give me £240. So 100% is going to be 100 times larger than 1%. Therefore, it's 100 times larger than £240. So that gives me an answer of £24,000. And that's what you should have got. The other way to do this question is using the formula that we've seen in previous lessons, where the original value multiplied by the multiplier is equal to the final value. And in this question, we want to find the original value, so we'll leave that as an unknown. The multiplier is our 17.5% decrease, which is equivalent to having 82.5% left over. As a decimal, that's 0.825, like this. And that's equal to our final value of 19,800. So we can say the original value is equal to the 19,800 divided by the 0.825. And just to show you that that does indeed give us the same thing, if we type them into our calculator, it gives us our answer of 24,000. So this method is a good option if you're happy with working out your multipliers. Our next type of example is where we've been given the difference. After updating his running shoes, an athlete found that his average heart rate during a marathon decreased by 3.8%. This reduction lowered his average heart rate by 4.75 beats per minute. What was his original average heart rate? Imagine his original average heart rate was 100%. He's got some new shoes and that reduced his heartbeat, or his heart rate, sorry, by 3.8%. So let's find out what he had left over. So that would be 96.2% relative to the original. And it's asked us for his original average heart rate. So that means we're looking for our 100%. And it's told us that this reduction, the reduction of 3.8%, lowered his average heart rate by 4.75 beats. What that means is that this 3.8% reduction is equivalent to a 4.75 beats per minute reduction. And like before, we can scale to 1% and then scale to 100%. To do that, divide by 3.8. I'll divide this by 3.8. And go to my calculator for that. 4.75 divided by 3.8. And hit the execute button to give me, what's that, 1.25 beats per minute. And it is worth thinking about what it's asked us for. What was his original average heart rate? We are looking for 100%. Now, it may not have asked us that. It could have asked us for his new heart rate, in which case we'd want to work out 96.2%. But it's his original. We want to work out 100%. We multiply this by 100 to give us 125 beats per minute. So that was his original heart rate. Give this question a go, and then we'll have a look at it together. A factory quality control test reveals that 7.5% of the smartphone screens produced in a morning shift are defective. If inspectors find 120 defective screens, how many total screens were produced during that shift? All of the smartphone screens that were produced in the morning shift would be equivalent to 100%. And the quality control has seen that 7.5% of the smartphone screens are defective. And we've then been told that that's equivalent to 120 screens. So that's our way into this question. Work out 1% by dividing by 7.5. So divide 120 by 7.5. And type that into your calculator. So that gives us 16. And these are screens, so 1% of the screens is 16. How many total screens were produced? Well, that's our 100%, so just scale up to 100 by multiplying by that. I'll do 16 multiplied by 100 to give me 1,600 screens. And that's my answer. Our last type of example is a reverse successive percentage change. So in other words, there's been 2 or more percentage changes to a value. We get our final, and we want to work our way back to the original. Following the introduction of a new fertilizer, the farm's annual potato harvest increased by 6.3% and then increased by a further 1.2% the following year. If the total harvest at the end of the second year weighed 430,302 kilograms, find the weight of the harvest before the fertilizer was used. Give your answer to the nearest kilogram. This is one of these examples where I'm going to use my multipliers instead. So following the introduction of a new fertilizer, the farm's annual potato harvest increased by 6.3%. As a multiplier, that is 1.063. And if you want to see how I got that, well, if we start with 100%, that's the usual harvest, I suppose. We added 6.3% to take us to 106.3%. And then I want to turn that into a multiplier by dividing by 100, which is where I get this number from. It then increased by a further 1.2%. That's going to be a 1.012 multiplier. If the total harvest at the end of the second year weighed 430 and 302 kilograms, find the weight of the harvest before the fertilizer was used. Let's use the formula that we've seen earlier. So the original value multiplied by the multiplier, and of course there may be more than one multiplier, and that's okay, is equal to the final value. The original value is what I want to find, so I'll leave that as an unknown in my equation. And in this case, there isn't one multiplier, though of course we could write 2 multipliers as one overall multiplier. But our multiplier is 1.063 followed by a further 1.012. In other words, it's the 6.3% increase multiplied by the 1.2% increase. And that is equal to the final value, which they have told us is this number. And I'll pop in my units just to keep me right. Now, what I can do is I can work out an overall multiplier just to show you that we can, of course, do that. 1.063 multiplied by 1.012. And that will give me, I imagine, not a very nice number, 1.075756. So yes, not a particularly nice number. But that would be my overall multiplier. What I want to do to get my original value is to divide my final value, which is this, by both of these numbers, which I've already multiplied together, but of course you could have them separate like this. But that's the calculation I do in my calculator. Now just remember, I've already done this part, so I can just leave it as this. So for me, I'm going to type in 430,302 over, and I've got my answer stored as this calculation. So that gives me this, which is 39999.6282 kilograms. That's the original value. Always check your question for the degree of accuracy, so decimal places, significant figures. In this case, it says give your answer to the nearest kilogram. Well, this is clearly closer to this, 400,000 kilograms. And that's the original harvest of the potatoes. Pause the video and work your way through this question. Let's look at it together. House prices in a village increased by 4.5%, so that's a 1.045 multiplier in 2024, and then decreased by 2.4%. Now, to get this multiplier, I'm going to take 100%, and I'll take away 2.4%, and that's going to take me to 97.6%. Turn that into a multiplier is 0.976. I've just divided by 100. That's the multiplier for the 2.4% decrease. At the end of 2025, a cottage was valued at £340,200. What was its value at the start of 2024? We'll write out our formula. Original value multiplied by the multiplier is equal to the final value. And if you can imagine, the house price in the village increased by 1.045. So we took the original value of the house, or it was a cottage actually, and it increased by 4.5%. Well, we said that's equivalent to a 1.045 multiplier. That was in 2024, and then it decreased by 2.4%. Well, that was equivalent to a 0.976 multiplier. And that was in 2025. And then it gives us this final value at the end of 2025 of 340,200. But to get the original value, I'm going to do this number divided by these numbers multiplied together. What you type in your calculator looks like this. And that will give us the original value. Let's go ahead and put that in. So 34200. And that gives us this answer of 333,555.573. Always write out your full calculator display. We're talking about house prices, so this is of course in pounds. Give your answer to the nearest pound, then check the question for the degree of accuracy they've asked for. It says give your answer to the nearest pound. If I draw my line after the decimal point, this 5 tells me to go up. I'm going to go up to 556 rather than stay at 555. So this is equal to 333,556 to the nearest pound. And that is my final answer. If you're using our lesson booklets, you can now complete exercises 1 and 2. Thank you for watching this video.